warm welcome to the Dubai Autodrome for the second round of the 2023 Asian Le Mans Series. With its packed grid, 33 teams representing 14 countries, the Asian Le Mans Series is attracting the world's most successful endurance teams, but also fosters young and emerging talents. In fact, bronze drivers have a very important role in the races, as it's them that take charge of qualifications. So without further ado, let's go racing for the 4 hours of Dubai.
So here we are on board the TF Sport Vantage AMR GT3 number 61 car, and at Dubai Autodrome, 5.39 kilometers, 16 turns, and across the start finish line and coming down here into turn one. This is plunging downhill about 245 kilometers an hour before you hitting hard on the brakes and down into second gear, about 110 kilometers an hour here at turn one, through and off of there into a very high speed sweeping section of the racetrack. Very hard on the left front tyre here at the Dubai Autodrome. You've got GT3 cars, you've got to be watching for the P cars coming through here because they've got a lot more downforce than these GT3 cars. To come down into the lowest part of the racetrack, turn 6 here, and winding through into turn 7, second gear, about 100 kilometers an hour, and the exit of that corner, rowing back up through the gears, coming into turn 9, one of the banked hairpins here at the Dubai Autodrome. Very, very important corner here for lap time. Getting a really good exit off of here is super important, and with the wind conditions today, it's going to be about 260 kilometers an hour in 6th gear at the end of this straight. A very important overtaking point also at the end of this straight, a very hard braking point. It's turn 10, slowest part of the racetrack, about 65 kilometers an hour, getting to the apex there. Nicely done, on the power, hard off of there, and into turn 11, sweeping through, and then up to another hairpin, which is another good overtaking opportunity here at the Dubai Autodrome, and it's down to about 80 kilometers an hour. 3rd gear though, as you're coming off here, looking for that traction, looking to keep the rear under you as you make it off of there, and then rowing back up through the gears, up to 220 kilometers an hour, through turn 13, and then hard on the brakes to another banked hairpin, which is again about 80 kilometers an hour at the apex, lining the car up nicely for the exit, driving off of there and into turn 15, which is a little bit of a breathe, up and over the crest and onto the brakes again for the final turn on the racetrack, turn 16, about 100 kilometers an hour at the apex, using a little bit of curb here on the exit, and that is a lap of the Dubai Autodrome.
Race 1 got underway here at the Dubai Autodrome last night. Now with me, I'm of course with our commentators to do a quick debrief of what was a spectacular race. So let's start with GT, Ollie. I mean, dominated by the winners.
Absolutely. Volkenhurst BMW had a spectacular race, really dominant throughout. Started off from pole, led pretty much the whole way. They were pushed a little bit by the Mercedes of Get Speed and HRT, but they never had quite enough to get into to challenge, and Nicky Katzberg brought that BMW quite comfortably home. So let's see how race 2 goes, but the BMW and the Mercedes were very, very strong yesterday.
Absolutely, and looking good for race 2 tonight. Now let's talk about LMP2 and LMP3, where there were a lot more battles, should I say.
Weren't there just? LMP3 ended up with a battle at the end, but before that we had 2 dominant cars in trouble. Nielsen Racing led the race. They had a starter problem. The 11 WTM by Rinaldi guys looked like they could be away with a great result. They suffered some gearbox problems, but it came down to a late race pass from MV2S for the win over the Graf Racing car that again had looked like it could take the win, with the defending champion CD Sports coming home on the podium. P2, we said last night in commentary, a breakthrough race, I think, for the Asia Le Mans Series. It's a high-quality grid here, some established stars, some coming stars as well. And we saw, I think, some young talents actually emerging. Kiffin Simpson, absolutely stellar in the Algarve Pro Racing car that took the win eventually last night. He was, I think, the deciding factor in the battle with DCAR Engineering's car. Beyond that, Nolan Siegel kept Neil Jarney honest in the number 43 Inter Europol car that Charles Cruz led the race away with in dominant form to start with. Neil Jarney couldn't really relax in that car. That probably made the difference between him having to defend from the young American and challenge for a better podium spot. But it ended with Algarve Pro Racing, 3 times champions, having a great start on the hunt for a 4th title.
Great race to, of course, kick off this Asian Le Mans series.
It is a very different grid from most ACO rules racing series here. We've got a mixture of world-class talents, emerging talents, aspirant gentleman drivers, a lot of new guys coming in, taking a look at teams and drives that might be forming part of their development. Nolan Siegel is one. Kiffin Simpson, another driver in the winning car last night, that is here to prove again his pace and his worth. I know no less a personality than Chip Ganassi was watching, tweeting out that he was keeping an eye on one of his junior drivers. This group, though, the number 3 DCAR Engineering car, the car we will call Nemo for reasons that we can obviously see, with the 2 Turkish drivers and Charlie Eastwood. Boy, did they feature.
Oh, absolutely. Ayuncan Given was spectacular in the car. Sally Yorick did a great job at the start, and then Charlie Eastwood got in to do the finish, and again he lit up the timing screens, got the car back to the front, and I think they led twice.
They did. 3 times, in fact. Twice through pit stop, and then once again got by going by the 43 car.
I think that they might have a little bit of a disadvantage with the pit stops. I think that they're giving up some time with refueling. So I think that's something that's going against them, but they have got great pace.
They were unlucky not to feature in that battle at the end. Yeah. Alexandre Kwani got himself a bit tangled up with one of the GT cars and lost laps to that.
Alexandre Kwani just tried a little bit of a move coming down into that 5-6 section, which has caught out a number of people this weekend. Multi-class racing here in the Asian Le Mans series, and that section 1, 2, 3, turn 4 down into turn 5, it really funnels down, and with the P2 cars coming there and using all of the road and then trying to dive up the inside of a GT car. GT car was unsighted and contact, and it blunted that 37 cars race and really effectively put it out of contention.
Great to see the investment in Dubai Autodrome and more spectator facilities and more spectators coming out with us. You're all very welcome trackside. It is free entry here, with registration required before you attend Dubai and next weekend at Yas Marina Circuit in Abu Dhabi. So if you are in the United Arab Emirates or on your way, you want to come along and see us, please do. Just call the circuit, they will register the tickets, and you're free to turn up with your friends and family. Let's talk quickly about LMP3. It was a great race at the end between Graf Racing and MV2S. We lost a couple of front-running cars in the night, with Nielsen Racing suffering a starter failure with that gear shift problem for the number 11 car that's on pole position here today. If those 2 cars stay reliable and we get the kind of pace we've got a little lower down the field here, that could be quite a race as well.
Oh, absolutely. I think that's really set up nicely. I managed to have a quick chat with Nico Varone just before he went off for some lunch, I think, and they're very confident in the 11 WTM Byron Audi car. I think that they've got themselves in a nice spot. They seem to be very strong on old tyres, and I think that they are very quietly confident. I mean, Torsten did a great...
Did he?
A great start to the race yesterday and looked to be controlling things, and I think that if they get themselves through that first hour, have no problems I think we're going to be on for a great cracking race in LMP3.
Let's go through the starting grid. Pole position for the number 43 Inter-Europol competition car and number 3 DKR Engineering on row 1. United Autosports number 23 and the Nielsen Racing 24 make up row 2. The winner yesterday, the 25 Algarve Pro Racing car and Cool Racing's 37, that's your row 3 in LMP2. Row 4, ARC Bratislava and Podium finishes 99 Racing. That's 8 out of 9 of the LMP2 cars before we get to the pole car in LMP3, the WTM by Rinaldi number 11 with CD Sports, who also made the podium yesterday, defending champions number 1. First of the Inter-Europol cars, 73 Ligier and the MV2S Racing Ligier, the winners yesterday evening. That's your next row. Row 7, Cool Racing and Rinaldi Racing, the black, blue and silver and the multicoloured German Duqueine. DKR Engineering with their orange and black Duqueine and the Nielsen Racing number 4, unlucky yesterday, they make up row 8 and row 9. Graf Racing were in the mix yesterday and made the podium. The 53 Inter-Europol Ligier alongside Graf Racing and the outer position number 22 United Autosports Orica from LMP2, row 10 and row 11 RRM Sports and the second CD Sport car make up that row. Into the GTs, pole position again for Falkenhurst Motorsport, the BMW, Haupt Racing Team and the black and Mercedes AMG. Then it's the Get Speed 10th anniversary car and the 21, the red and yellow Ferrari from AF Corsa on row 13. 14, the Hub Auto 72 AMG and the bright purple Herbeth Motorsport Porsche number 33, and then row 15 the all black 99 Herbeth Motorsport Porsche, and out of position LMP3 the 63 from Inter-Europol before we get into Aston Martin country and the 77 D Station car and the first McLaren, the number 88 car from Garage 59. Row 17 Haupt Racing's yellow and blue AMG and the number 91 Herbeth Motorsport Pure Racing Porsche, then the bright pink Mercedes AMG from Get Speed and Bullet Racing 66 Aston Martin. Row 19 is the solo Lamborghini from Leipzig Motorsports and Castle Racing 74 Ferrari, another Ferrari 60 from Formula Racing and the 20 Herbeth Motorsport Porsche, 21 the red TF Sport 95 Aston, the bright yellow 57 Castle Racing Ferrari, then the Garage 59 McLaren, the white and blue car, and the orange Racing McLaren 2. 18 the 360 Racing Ligier and the Viper Nisa Racing Aston Martin. That completes a 46 car starting grid, we hope. Still trying to pick out the Bullet Racing car to see if that's with us this afternoon.
30 seconds, under 30 seconds to start the formation lap. We are under 30 seconds to start the formation lap.
We have a gap at the back of the field. That is the number 67 orange racing car. Just there behind the space behind the Castle Racing car, so we'll wait and see what occurs there. If they're going to join the race, it will be a lap down.
Yes, it will. I'm just looking here on the start grid, and the starting drivers in particular. I think it's a little bit interesting with the likes of Rob Bell.
Start of the formation lap. Start of
Garage
the formation
59,
lap.
number 59
Please do
car.
not leave too big gaps like you did yesterday. Let's minimize the gaps from the start, please.
Always reassuring to hear the voice of Eduardo Freitas there. He's just giving some final details to the teams. But also the number 72 Hub Auto car starting Ollie Milroy.
Silver ranked?
Yeah, absolutely. Chandler Hull is starting the number 34 Falkenhurst car.
Silver ranked?
Yeah, silver ranked driver. Phil Hansen is in the 22 car.
Gold,
yeah.
instead of Jim McGuire. So that will be the team trying to get that car back into contention in LMP2 before handing it over to Jim McGuire. Phil Hansen, multiple champion in LMP2.
Yep, and Torsten Kratz is going to be starting the WTM by Rinaldi number 11 car. He did a spectacular job yesterday. Alexander Kwani is going to be taking the start in the number 37 car. So we have to see how he gets on. Hopefully he can navigate his way through all of that traffic again, nice and securely, and not have an incident.
Right at the back, that's an interesting starting driver aboard the Garage 59. This is the white and blue McLaren at the back. That is Rob Bell, McLaren factory driver. Both the Bell brothers. Matt Bell is here in the Nielsen Racing LMP3, but his brother Rob, the older brother, is at the back of this grid. And again, that's going to be a car to watch coming up through the order.
Absolutely, and McLaren have had an adjustment, a bop adjustment, and so I think that car is going to be a little bit more competitive here today. the speeds up that straight into that really heavy brake zone into turn 10. A little bit more speed maybe than yesterday, and that might catch a couple of people out, particularly on this first lap.
Bullet Racing have made the start, so epic work from the team overnight, flying in a ProDrive mechanic and AMR mechanic and parts to help with that repair, but they made the grid. That's a fantastic piece of work.
Yeah,
the car was in bits this morning.
Yeah, we saw Martin Berry, didn't we, down there, and he was a little sheepish, a little bit sheepish about what happened yesterday. He maybe got a little bit impatient with getting through some slower traffic, but that's what this is all about. It's all about learning, gathering that information, understanding the multi-class racing, and dealing with this 4-hour race here in the Asian Le Mans Series. It really does throw up a lot of challenges, drivers, teams, personnel, and this is effectively the second race of their season, so they really are primed and ready to go.
So the grid will, as you heard from Eduardo Freitas, start to close those gaps. He wants an orderly start to this race, because orderly means safer. That's what this is about. It's not OCD. There's a reason behind it.
Yeah.
Round they come. They make a magnificent sight.
Oh, it's brilliant. Great to see.
Multicoloured, multi-class, and we are just a corner or so away from the noise levels going up, the speed levels going up, the entertainment levels going up. If this is the first time you've seen the Asian Le Mans Series, stick with us the next 4 hours, because the nose lights go out, and they do now. Down goes the power. Charlie Cruz again, heading for the apex of turn 1, and he does so far more conclusively with a decar engineering car almost making contact side to side with the United Autosports car. Who's going to make it through turn 1? It's going to be the United car, I think, that makes it. It does so the 23 car makes it through. Briefly off track, there's a spin around from the 44 from ARC Bratislava.
Oh, that's packed it through turn 1, coming down now into turns 4 and 5. Yellow flag, I think, with the internet of turn 1. I think we're going to see exactly how this all unfolds. ARC Bratislava back going again, but that was congested into turn 1.
That was a great start from Charlie Cruz, but behind him, elbows were firmly out there.
Yeah, they need to know it's a 4-hour race. Wow. United are putting the pressure on immediately.
And immediately goes to the lead. That's Garnet Patterson has started that car, the silver rank driver. That's why the aggression. This is all again about getting track position up the inside of Charlie Cruz. Garnet Patterson trying to put his authority down on this race.
Absolutely, and I think that...
Oh, and around goes the 43! Charlie Cruz overcooks it there.
The pressure was on and it told, and he's now trying to spin the car back around, and he's got a lot of traffic coming. He is going to be stuck for a while.
No sight line there, and if he's going to cross the track, there's going to be no space to do so. Phil Hansen trying to make his way up the order.
You can see he's itching, wanting to get going, but he just can't. He can't. It's not safe. And finally, back of the pack, right at the very back, and that could be really costly for Charlie Cruz.
Remember, this is a car that we lost from the race yesterday. Garnet Patterson, meanwhile, is making good his escape.
And it was the pressure from Garnet. When he passed him, Charlie got a little flustered. Cold tyres coming through 11, just got a little bit too early on the gas, spun it around, and it can be just lost in a heartbeat.
And look behind there, the BMW trying to make the move through, follows through. Does he? Doesn't manage it there, but Rob putting the move on the Hub Auto car.
Yeah,
this is what this is all about.
Absolutely. Let's see how things develop here, because both the Mercedes and the BMW, I believe, have both had weight put on, which, yes, it's going to hurt them for that acceleration and that deceleration, but it's also going to hurt them with their tyre wear and tyre management.
Yeah. That is our GT leader, by the way, with the number 55 Rinaldi car behind him, and that is for position, by the way. Rinaldi car out of position here. Matthias Lurton aboard that car. Up the inside goes Sally Jolic. Now comes Phil Hansen. He made shorter work of that. Got a good run here. And we'll try up the inside. Is there any room there? We'll try and switch here as they come through and past the Aston Martin. No room to do it. Sully did a good job there of reading that traffic.
Yeah, he did. He did. He just used the Aston there as a little bit of a block. And now Phil Hansen can get it done. And it's all about now just running that pace through the apex of 9 and getting good run off.
Trouble for the 43 car. Charlie Cruz, that's an early pit stop. Only 25 minutes in. That car should be running a good 20 minutes longer, I think. on fuel. So is there a problem again for the 43?
Yeah, well, it's taking fuel now.
But it's not going to be just fuel.
Surely not.
What is going on here? Have they got a tyre problem?
I don't think so. Have they got the skates ready? No, it was just fuel.
Fuel? What is that about?
I don't know. It's going off slightly off sequence. Who knows? There's Phil Hansen still working away, trying to get past the number 3 car, Sally Yock at the wheel.
Good little spell here from Sally Yock, holding off the much more experienced driver. And should say as well, by the way, this is a car that Phil will have driven before. Sally, yeah, these cars are all Orica 07s, but they're not all the same. The weather engineer is not the same. That is a very early chassis, by the way. I think this is something like chassis 4 of about 110 of these cars have been produced in 2017. It's an old Orica, the car that DCAR Engineering have got from Graf Racing. Maybe trouble ahead, by the way, for the Hub Auto car. Reported to the stewards for not turning on the lights. Cars supposed to be showing lights front and rear. I hope they've got lights. They've had an engine change. I hope there's not a wiring issue for that car. Up the inside this time for Phil Hansen. Still not room there, and no room there either. Great run this from Sally Yock.
Yeah, and Phil Hansen's needing now to use this traffic up ahead and really plan his move.
Goes for it. Oh, that was a send it moment.
And he's gone very deep.
And is he going to be able to hold that? He does. I think he's given best this time. But well done, Sally Yock. And that will be released to Phil Hansen because he will want to be able to take his line through traffic rather than trying to anticipate the car ahead.
Absolutely.
He moves up into second, and after, it's got to be said, a very un-United-like dismal day yesterday, 1-2 for United Autosports.
Yeah, and Phil is now 18 seconds back from Garnet Patterson, so he's given up a little bit of time there with being bottled up somewhat behind Sally Yock. So, yeah, he has got work to do. But United and Richard Dean down there at United, I'm sure he's going to be a lot happier today than he was yesterday.
Well, there are the number 99 car, previous championship winner here, the Bullet Racing car back in one piece, and well done to the Bullet Racing crew. Garnet Patterson steps out of the car. And I think that was Yasser Shaheen stepping in. It's going to be the car 60 as well, the Formula Racing Ferrari also track limits. So both United Autosports cars stopping off. They're actually not a million miles, you know, away from. They're actually on schedule. In comes the DCAR Engineering car, but Yasser Shaheen stepping in.
Does seem
that was a late call to pit lane from Sally Yock.
It does seem that they're running a little bit shorter today, unless we are miscounting, and it's
been pretty fast and furious pace.
It has.
Now, in case you're wondering why there's not a lot of hurry about these pit stops, each of the classes in the first 3.5 hours of this race must complete 3 timed pit stops. There are a variety of reasons for that. 100 seconds.
100 seconds.
This is the battle for the lead in LMP3, and the 360 racing car, which by the way started at the very back of the field, and I mean the back of the field, in amongst the GTs, takes the lead with Sebastian Alvarez. That's been a cracking run from the back that I absolutely had not noticed. I have to tell you,
has caught us
18th from 11th, so well done, sir. I think that car started on the very back row. Through goes John Falb, and Mirko Opka is at least briefly between him and Charlie Cruz. Charlie up the inside, we'll hope the 44 and the 15 has seen him. I think they have.
Yeah.
They've got through those two cleanly. One more, and then a bit of clear air. It's the 55 car ahead for Rinaldi Racing. 55 car is running.
Here comes Charlie now, right at the inside there at 12, and that's what I thought he was going to do. And he just left that braking that little bit later than John. I think John was just looking what he was going to do with the 55 coming down into 14, but Charlie, decisive, boom, got the deal done.
So through into second place. No, not again. Again.
And so frustrating for WTM by Rinaldi. Number 11 car, I think.
It's Leo Weiss standing to one side and must be thinking, what have we got to do?
Another gearbox issue.
In the cockpit this time.
Yeah, maybe. Or
we're
only guessing. Maybe Haley can go down and find out.
They'll put the car in the garage. There you go. That's what that means.
Oh, who's this? Is this the 25 car going slow? It's got a puncher. Left rear. Contacted, looks like, on that left rear side, or maybe
John Fowler's been driving that just a little bit too quickly. When you get a puncher like this and you just drive a little bit too fast with it,
might require another red clip.
Yeah, it starts to unravel the rubber, and that could start to flap, and then it does a load of bodywork damage. So he just needs, the team needs to be on the radio to him, just saying, John, I know you need to get back, but it's quite a failure.
He'd already gone, hadn't it? It had gone, and then there was further damage. So that's hit something. You see the carbon fibre shredding off behind it.
Yeah. And
this is desperate for John Fowler, but winning yesterday. Up the inside goes the MV2S car. Nicky Lertvaler is going to be going for a lie down in the quiet room.
Yeah, a couple of sweeties in a quiet lie down.
Absolutely.
Poor old boy. But and when that happens, it can just kill your confidence, and then you're the whole time looking at it.
That's a big one. Into the wall.
Cool racing.
I think drawn in by the battle that was happening ahead.
Yeah.
And that's the 17 car in the wall.
Yeah, we've seen this happen before with these P3 cars.
That was from third place in LMP3. He was in a battle. He's driven away from that, but what damage. There's a tyre dragging. You can see the black line behind that car.
Right rear's done.
So
as it
he's
comes
behind
down,
the P2 car.
As it comes down, and the 18 cars slow. 18 cars slow there. Just gives a little bit more brake, and he's just trying to squeak past him, and the rear's lock, and it just fires him on the wall on the left.
Well, after a run through the field and a run away from the field at the wheel of the number 22 United Autosports Orica, let's go down to Haley, who's in the garage at United Autosports with Phil Hansen.
That's right, a run through the field, to put it lightly. That was a stellar performance. A start from Phil Hansen in car number 22. Now, you actually started P9 in your field. You made it all the way up and extended your lead to 1 minute 17 seconds. Just take us through that, Phil.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit unfair, though, because most cars will start their amateurs. Unfortunately, we were able to start Jim yesterday because we changed our mind because the race got delayed and we weren't confident that he would enjoy the night. But then, because we declared the driver me starting yesterday after quali, we couldn't change it today because obviously the rules regulate that you have to declare that driver 30 minutes after quali. So it's a bit unfair because I'm out there with, the gents. So it's a bit distorted in that sense.
Okay, it's a bit of a humble response from you, but there's also a very good strategy on point here at United.
Yeah, it means that because we qualified 9th in class, but sadly behind a lot of the LMP3s, it would have taken Jim a lot longer maybe to get going and get past slower traffic. Now he's going out and basically the traffic should be quite constant the whole run, so he might not lose as much time in those opening laps with the chaos unfolding in front of him. As you saw at the start, it wasn't an easy start for me. I went off track and I actually lost a few positions on the first lap, which isn't great. And had Jim been in that situation, it would have maybe even struggled even more. So now it's kind of smooth sailing. What he's about to experience out there should be quite consistent for the next hour and a half, and then pulls in at the end to bring it home, hopefully.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
When a safety car comes out, and they have to go through this process, it's often that when they go to restart, that there's another incident, and
Absolutely.
safety cars can breed safety cars.
Safety car in at the end of this lap. Safety car in at the end of this lap.
And the pit lane is open, so this is going to be an interesting moment. I've zero doubt that the Nielsen racing car is going to need to pit.
Yeah.
We'll have to do that under green flag conditions.
Wow, this is going to be really interesting now, just to see how these drivers deal with this, because it's been a number of very, very slow laps here, and those tyres are going to be cold, covered in pickup. It's going to get exciting. It's turn one.
The other thing that's an interesting thing here is the safety car going to come into the pit lane by the normal entry, because in which case it's going to delay the 24. Because if he has to come in now, and he does, as does the 24, as does a gaggle of other cars, that's going to be a further delay.
Yeah, it is.
He's not going to make that pit lane entry to the line where they're going to come down to the pit lane speed limit.
The only thing that's going to help him here is everybody else is just tippy-toeing around, and the rest of the field have not caught up to the back of the pack.
Right, so Jim Maguire will lead this field away now. So Jim Maguire in the 22 car changed just before the safety car came out. Now we'll go to work. Matthias Besch will take over from Rodrigo Sales. They're going to help the driver out. The driver helper there helps the gentleman driver out, the professional Swiss driver in. Matthias with WC race winning form in LMP1 and LMP2. Gets aboard the defending championship winning car. Keep an eye on that one. LMP3 and GT3 cars in just a solid mass at the moment.
Yeah, let's see how this BMW performs now, because that is a pretty big block of polystyrene that's stuck in the grille there, and that's not going to help Nicky.
Looks for the outside line there. Can he do it? Cuts back through, tries the inside line.
Yeah.
That's been more successful. Can he tough it out there? No, he can't. Does it come back? Wow, no space at all, but that was a quality pass from Nicky Katzberg.
Absolutely surgical move there from Nicky Katzberg, just absolutely scything through the traffic. Brilliant move.
Nicky the Cat Katzberg, he can squeeze through the smallest of spaces. He's got whiskers that show him the way.
Oh my word.
Full course yellow at the end of the second hour, and cars galore on pit lane. Jonas Reed in trouble and off the track.
Phil there from Hub Auto, he's looking there, something going on with the right front.
Yes.
Is there big contact?
There's Jules
on, yeah, and they're desperately working the problem there.
Hasn't driven yet this season in this series.
No, he's standing there with a fan, giving Liam some fresh air. Now it's going to be go time again. Drivers are really going to have to get back up to temperature, really going again. And we are back to racing.
Full course yellow removed. Full course yellow removed. Thank you.
And as you say, a trouble for the 29. Couldn't get back up to speed. Couldn't get it off the speed limiter.
Yeah, maybe he's still thinking about what happened at turn 1. Who knows?
You know what? Just cost him a position, didn't it? There was certainly a track position. The 11 car did go by him there, but it wasn't position because he's a lap down, of course.
Yeah.
72 Hub Auto have not had any luck at all. The one bit of luck they have had was the availability at late notice of Ollie Milroy. He's going to talk to Haley now about the problems down with the 72 car.
That's right, I'm joined here by Ollie Milroy, driver of car number 72. Now, the car was just pulled into the garage. Could you just tell us what the issue was?
Something came loose at the front right corner, and it got to the point where we couldn't go any further with it, so we had to box under FCY there to fix the issue.
So MV2S continues their race-long pursuit, it seems, of the Graf racing cars.
These two have been welded together.
Haven't they just?
But that seems like the whole race.
The number 8 car, their sister car, is a further 30 seconds up the road from this.
Yeah, and
there you go, though. Is this side by side?
If the 29 could just sneak by, that he would just break free, and he's going to throw it up the inside.
He's got him in. No, he hasn't.
Nope.
It's not been without its travails, the MV2S car, has it?
Oh, that's strong. Oh. That's a strong move. And he just needed just a little bit more patience there. Just look at trying to work the move coming into and through the final corner. Don't get too greedy and trying to get it done too soon.
Yeah.
And now he's going to follow him all the way down to turn 1 and then through that series of fast sweepers all the way down to turn 6.
We'll point out, by the way, as we watch this battle, because it's a good one, Kevin Simpson is taking time, and quite big chunks of time, out in the lead, 32 seconds now.
I mean, and again, this is just a bit of an action replay.
Whoa. It was sort of, Graf car was where he needed to be, wasn't it?
Yeah.
To make that move. Inconvenient, but they're the realities.
Yeah.
Again, up the inside. This time gets it done. Well done.
Yeah. Jerome was rather impatient there, but he's got it done now.
Dominant again in the GT class have been the Valkenhurst Motorsports BMW, despite that BOP change. Let's hear about what's been going on for Nicky Katzberg, who's with Haley in the pit lane now.
I'm joined here by Nicky Katzberg, driver of car number 34. Now, it was quite a complicated start because I know there were 2 offs, and Chandler had to kind of go about managing that as well. But you jumped in the car, you were sitting P7, you managed to work your way up to leading the field. Now, just tell us about that.
Yeah, I mean, we obviously have a bit different strategy than the others. I think I was racing against most of the bronzes and silvers in the other cars. So actually, the stint was super busy, a lot of overtaking and a lot of LMP3 traffic, which actually didn't really play in our favor because I was hoping to make more of a gap to them. So it might have looked nice, me passing all those people, but the plan was to kind of do a bit more even. But I mean, Thomas is now in the car, he's doing an unbelievable job, so we're in the lead, so let's see where we end up.
With regards to your strategy, you know, you've kind of flipped it around because you put your bronze driver in for the final stint?
Yes, we did. Yeah, yesterday was the opposite, but this gives us a little bit more freedom in terms of drive time and strategy. So I still got my almost maximum drive time, so it doesn't really change anything. It just makes our life a bit easier.
But surely you've just taken exactly the same strategy you got yesterday and apply it to today, because yesterday was flawless performance from you guys.
Yeah, yesterday went well, but it could have been better, and you never know what's going to happen in terms of yellow safety car. So we were just trying to do the optimal thing.
Oh, big trouble for the number 65 car.
And this could be another safety car.
Douglas
right now.
Koo back in the car and in trouble. That car is fluid everywhere. Safety car called immediately.
We're trying to pick up where this is on the racetrack, and he's moving inside the car. He's waving and he's trying to get out. He is okay.
Already was hurt yesterday, Douglas Koo, with the car being dropped onto his foot.
Big front impact.
And he'll have felt that, I'm sure. He's hopping away. He's in a bit of trouble there. So he's away from the car and a bit winded, I think.
Yeah, we're still trying to work out where this is on the racetrack.
I suspect this might be game over for Vibranisa this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Big damage. What's happened here?
This is coming up into...
He's already off. You could see the impact point.
Yeah, he's lost the car.
He's been into
driver's
the wall.
left. Oh, a bit of a snafu there with the DKR. He's getting a tear off, you know. I like those.
You love a tear off.
Yeah, but the fuel probe and the nozzle was not on the car that quickly.
Now this is where pit stop discipline is going to be critical.
25 needs turning, so this is going to suck up some time. I'm not sure where they're at with their timed pit stops. But
well, we're about to see.
Yeah.
This could be very interesting. How busy is that pit lane?
Yeah.
Well, we've got 42 cars still running, and I think about 35 of them are on pit lane right now.
Yeah, look, 24 can't find its pit. So I'm unsure where it was.
Here comes the leader in GT. This is the 34 Valkenhurst car, and the 98 car. Also struggling to get to its pit stall.
When it's this busy, it is very tricky to see your pit box.
Tricky and dangerous.
Yeah, to spot it, and there's so many people there. It's just trying to then line it up for an exit.
So looking for when DKR get out of this pit lane.
Yeah, and they might see a number of cars here that have to go back up on the skates, turned, to then get them released out back into the pit lane.
That was a rapid stop from the 23. Nielsen Racing coming out, the 95 TF Sport coming out. There is DKR. They're the first of the lead group to show from that mass of carbon fibre and...
Yeah, I'm not sure Charlie Eastwood knows where the wiper switch is, because it's going rather quickly on that number 3 car.
Well, the repairs have been made there, so we should be relatively quickly back.
Still looking for it.
Where's the wiper switch? Where's the wiper switch? There goes the 24. So number 3 is gone. Number 23 is gone, but it's a lap down. Who's the next one going to be leaving pit lane? Because that will be our second place car. It is the 43, then the 37.
So this is all lining itself up. A lot of these cars have just come out of the pits. New tyres, fresh, ready to go, possibly new driver on board. And look at them, they're ferocious in trying to get their tyres warmed up, get everything switched on. And this is brilliant to see. Hour to go with everybody packed up.
Nose to tail, the cars there in 3rd and 4th, but in front of them, Paul Di Resta, who's a lap down and not going to be easy to pass.
Oh, is this going to be an action replay from yesterday?
Let's hope not. Away we're about to go, and with 55 minutes left on the clock, back to green flag running. And away we go for the final hour of the second 4 hours of Dubai, round 2 of the Asian Le Mans Series. Paul Di Resta already going 2-3 wide as they come down into turn 1. The Algarve Pro car looking to get away from Ben Hanley, but he's not going to manage it. Tops it around the outside of the ARC Bratislava car, but it's still not done. Still 2 P2 cars in the way here, and all the other cars too.
Oh, it's going to get racy here. Trying to pick the right route through all of these it's sometimes potluck.
On the inside of 2 cars there, manages it through, gets a car between him and Ben Hanley. Hanley deals with ARC Bratislava, goes to the outside of CD Sport, manages that move. And now they get back to racing each other.
Yeah.
D-car, meanwhile, John Eastwood making hay. There is a second place car, the 43.
And this is James Allen and Ben Handley, who were resuming that battle that they had at Daytona right at the end of the 24-hour race there. These two went at it, and it was James who came away that day with the victory.
Coming from behind, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
But
oh, they're DeResta sliding the car off of turn 11 up into 12.
yeah, Ben Handley is, I think, looking to show what could have happened
Absolutely.
at Daytona here.
He really is motivated.
Flashing the headlamps for the traffic and for James Allen to say, you know that watch you've got?
Well, he hasn't, has he?
On the inside, and does he take the position? I think he's got it right. Beautifully done by Ben Handley. Beautiful move.
Fantastic. James
Saw
got
that
caught on the
coming.
outside there.
Sun is going down, darkness will fall remarkably quickly, and as you can see already, the headlamps beginning to get a bit dazzling. They're going to get far more than that as we lose the ambient light. Charlie Eastwood doing a good job here, holding Nolan Siegel 5 seconds to the good.
Good speed across the apex there at turn 1. Two dueling teams there. They'll be getting ready to do that final pit stop.
Well, keep an eye on this. I'll tell you, there's another couple of drive-through penalties. One for abusing track limits from the 20 Herbeth car. They've had a rotten day today. And the 23 United car currently in the hands of Ollie Jarvis, overtaking on a safety car.
Ooh. That's a tough one. Nolan Siegel is now right on Charlie Eastwood. He's going to be able to get a run. This is strong. He's got well in the toe. Is he going to be able to get it done into turn 10? Sure, he's quite close enough. It's a big lunge if it is going to be one.
Had a bit of a run over the curbs, didn't it? It's not. It's just a little beyond him there, but it sort of looks inevitable.
Yeah, it does. But
Charlie Eastwood won't think so.
If the team is smart, they're going to be saying, "Just okay, don't take a big chance here. Let's just see how the pit stop shakes out, and just be smart. Be smart about it." He is very close here. There was some very different lines. He's lining him up. He's having a look. Not quite enough.
Yes, side on the inside.
Oh.
He's trying to try and toughen it around the outside. He's not got. Has he got the drive? He's got it. He's got it. Beautiful, beautiful move.
Wow.
Nolan Siegel to the lead.
That was spectacular.
After disaster into Europol yesterday evening, they go back into the lead here with just 25 minutes remaining of this 4-hour race. Watch that again. Take us through it, Ollie.
Oh, he's looking up the inside, and then he knows that across the apex here, he's just that little bit quicker. Charlie gives him the room, which is good driving, but then here, just around the outside. I'd seen that the lap before. Nolan Siegel was very strong through there, through turn 15. I think he's doing it close to flat, if not flat out, and Charlie's just having to breathe it a little bit. Wow, great performance, great move there from Nolan Siegel.
That is 2 cars, by the way, and that shot pulls out. Is there space there? No, there's not. The battle of the late breakers.
This is MV2S and the Graf car. They are really going at it.
Bit of a wiggle under power there. Didn't quite get it done. Lick a blue flame from the side exhaust.
But that just illustrates there, that last shot, how little they can see.
In he goes, side by side.
He's trying to go around the outside. Can he make it stick?
No, not there.
He's going to
tough it out. He's still there. If there was a spot there, they'd be saying still there, still there, still there. Now it's on the brakes. Now he makes the move. Graf go in to second position. That's a great move. That started 2 corners before.
Yep.
And he's done to the MV2S car what was done to him the night before.
And I expect the Graf car now to pull away.
It's the 43 car.
Yeah.
Getting towards the final stages of this race in Sector 2 now. Won't be long before the team can welcome him home for 25 points for into Europol after a 0 score yesterday.
Driven extremely well. Very smart, very mature, very fast performance there from Nolan Siegel.
And was blistering in traffic.
Yep, smart moves.
looks like it's Ben Hanley. And
He's not going to catch Charlie Eastwood.
No.
And it's a very different looking podium, which is great for the championship. Here, though, coming to the end of what will be the 115th lap, Nolan Siegel brings home the number 43 into Europol, Orica 07, to a win for the second 4 hours of Dubai, round 2 of the 2023 Asian Le Mans Series, and is greeted home by Christian Bogle, by Charlie Cruz and the team.
Fantastic performance.
Great stuff.
Really great.
Wait for
Charlie Eastwood.
The second place car to come home. Does it now? DKR Engineering take a second place. And it's going to be James Allen just edges home ahead of a rampant Milton Jakobsen. Into Europol from DKR Engineering and Nielsen Racing complete that podium. Tiny gaps involved here. Algarve Pro, Cool Racing and 99 Racing complete a hard-fought top 6. Not yet home is the battle in LMP2. Neither home is Falcon Horse Racing, almost a lap ahead of the battle for second, which did go, by the way of Get Speed's AMG for the AF Corsa 21. But Falcon Horse Motorsport and their BMW win the race. Still waiting for DKR Engineering, just 2.5 seconds ahead of the Graf Racing car, which gapped Fabien Laverne in MV2S. There we go. Duquesne take the win with DKR Engineering. Graf Racing closed to 2.3 seconds at the end.
Nolan, after a disappointing race yesterday, I mean, what better than to top it off today with a victory here, the Dubai 4 hours. What a stellar performance from Noah, of course. Could you just tell us about it, how it went for you?
Yeah, it was fantastic. I think, you know, the Inter Europol car was great all day, and Charles and Christian both did an amazing job in their stints. Charles put it on pole, and you know, we've all led a lot of laps in all of our stints, so it's a real team effort, and it's amazing to come away with the win.
Here are the points. It is 1 point between Algarve Pro Racing, still lead the championship ahead of DKR Engineering, with Inter Europol 10 points back on equal points with Nielsen Racing.
Valentino, fantastic result for you guys at DKR Engineering, of course, getting victory here at the second round of the Asian Le Mans Series, 4 hours of Dubai. How did it go for you?
Yeah, like we struggled yesterday a little bit, but now we had like a perfect pit stop and everything. Tom did a perfect job in his first stint and as well in the second one, and at the end we were in P1 and I had to save a lot of fuel. Like I was like, oh mate, I need to save fuel, and just over the line we got it then. Well, it was incredible.
There you go, there are the points. MV2S lead the way still, 40 points to the good from Graf Racing with 36. DKR there, no, back right into it, 7 points off the lead. Bit of a gap then to the defending champions from CD Sport and 17 into Europol 73 car, a point back, equal points with the other CD Sport car.
Second victory of this Asian Le Mans Series here in Dubai. I mean, what can I say? Even though you changed strategy, pulled it out the bag with another flawless performance. You did go down to, I think, 7th, 8th position, but you managed to work your way up the field once again, and here you are, victorious.
Yeah, we have to credit the team for a brilliant strategy, and I have to credit these two guys for just giving me the car in first place. All I had to do was drive it to the checkered flag. It was very, very easy, but thank you to the team. Our M4 was great. The series pulled a little bit away from us there, but we managed to still get a good race race car, and we're looking forward to next weekend.
That is the points position. Dominant, as I say, for Valkenhurst Motorsport. 52 points from Get Speed on 36. Hump Racing Team's number 7 on 21, and 17 for that 21 AF Corsa car, 13 for Herbst Motorsports. And whatever they did with BOP didn't make the difference.
The second round has just gone down here at the Dubai Autodrome, when LMP2 Inter-Europol competition finally clinched that win after a disappointing race yesterday. In LMP3, DKR Engineering win, and in GT3 Valkenhurst Motorsport, another flawless win from the guys for another win of this Asian Le Mans Series. Next round is in Abu Dhabi. We'll see you there. Goodbye.